Hello and welcome back. So it's been absolutely ages since I last put out any content, and I come back with something exciting. So this is Rise of the Banished for Halo Flashpoint. It's an expansion. It's not a new core box, so it doesn't include any of the rules, at least the core rules and that kind of thing anyway. There is some other stuff in here, but we're going to have a brief look at it today. There will be a further review coming out in the coming days, which I've already I'm some way into, but this is a very cool set. So in terms of any paperwork that comes with it, we've basically got assembly instructions for all of the terrain. There'll be a separate video very soon for assembly for the terrain. It's not an assembly guide, but it's just me taking you through the steps of how I assemble this stuff permanently, so gluing it and all that sort of thing. But there is a way to do it and a way not to do it. I'll show you how I do it. We get a booklet here for Defiance. Now what this does is it basically gives us all of the kind of points details for the Banished, so that's all the brutes and that kind of thing, along with details of their special orders and all that sort of thing. It does give us a few kind of setup details for new game modes. The best one I think is the big team battle. So this is a way to play the game with a much higher model count, so 8 versus 8 and that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Not a huge amount of details in here, but enough for us to bring us up to point in terms of our kind of points for each individual unit and all that sort of thing from this box. And again, those couple of ways in addition to play the game. Now we have lots of tokens here. You will have seen these tokens before, similar to what we get in the core box. Obviously for additional weapons, more of our grenade sort of things and that sort of stuff. A couple of VIP tokens there, which goes with our new scenario. And we also, again, you'll have seen very similar things here in the past. So basically there's a new game mode which is for elimination, so attrition elimination, and we'll use these as down tokens because in that game mode, once a model is destroyed, it doesn't respawn, so it stays out of the game permanently. So yeah, lots of good stuff, all of our new grenades and that kind of thing as well. Very cool. Next up we have we have the main game board and all of our terrain. So let's bust into this and have a look. So the terrain there's a decent bit of terrain. I think it's a little bit less than the core box, the Spartan edition at least. More than the Recon edition. It does look a little bit, I don't know if fancier is the right word. It's certainly different, but again, the terrain will be covered fully in a separate video. But it's nice, very different to the stuff that we've had so far. So very cool stuff. That's a nice big piece as well, but all kind of fitting in the same system in terms of the layout. So we've got this sort of, again, we have the grid layout. Bit of a shame really we don't have a double-sided board. Anyway, yeah, same sort of grid layout as from the Recon and Spartan editions. So very cool. Now on to the cool stuff. We do get another tray here. This is for all of our tokens and all that kind of cool stuff. It's empty for now, we can fill it up later. And then the last thing to look at really is the cards, the models and the dice. So let's go dice first. Okay, so these are our D8s. Nothing special about these really, but they are cool. So we're red, so we've already got black. So I think it was black with the core set, and then if you bought the additional dice expansion, you got white. It's either white with the core and then black with the expansion, or the other way around. You get those are cool. And then our kind of control dice are a nice sort of marbled effect. Very cool. Nice. I like it a lot. We can have a look at, so we've got some new cards. These are for weapons. I'll quickly run through them. So the brute shot, skewer, mangler, shock rifle, ravager for close combat, sentinel beam, disruptor, dynamo grenade, spike grenade, mauler, brute shot. Oh, right, and then yeah, different coloured options for the other ones. Stalker rifles, maulers, shock rifles. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. And then finally we have our unit cards and their special orders. So captain, warrior, berserker, sniper, and then alternative cards for the same things. Berserker. Then we go back to our elites, the Sengeli, mercenary. So lots of those. So interestingly, if we have a quick look, so our elites, health point wise, they're all 3s. So health points all 3, but our brutes, health points, we have 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. So a lot more health, but they move slower. Definitely slower than our Spartans as well. Okay, then we have Atriox, which is our big bad. Out of these guys, 8 health points for him. He does have his special order. If a friendly model begins their activation pinned, you may spend their special order results to perform a free stand-up action, then continue with their normal 2 short or 1 long action. So that's really cool. So it isn't specifically for him, but it is for if your little warband includes him. So you can use that for any unit if he's in that warband. Atriox personally may use a special orders available to, I hate that word, to the Jirohane. Please give me the pronunciation in the comments, and the Banished. Atriox may be taken in place of 2 other Banished. Okay, very good. And then we've got our Brutes general special orders. An injured animal is often the most dangerous. If the active unit has 2 or more wounds already, they can spend a special order result to add 1 to their speed stat for a sprint action made in their activation. This movement must be used to enter a cube with an enemy model. The player may re-roll 1 die during the resulting fight test. So very, very cool. Let's finally have a look at some models. Let's go straight for Atriox. So he is big. So by comparison, let's have a look at one of the elite models. I know this elite's not particularly standing upright. Let's get a more upright one. Okay, a little bit better. But he's massive in comparison. Compared to the rest as well, he has a detailed base. I think it's a 45mm base on him. Let's just have a quick measure up. Whoa. Let's have a look. Nope, it's a 50mm base. But he's got good detail on the base as well. As a model, very well detailed as well. But he is the centerpiece of these bad boys. The other brutes are smaller than him, but they do look very cool. Very good. So, interestingly, so you've got 2 units of each side. So you'll get sort of, for the brutes at least, you'll get 2 captains, 2 warriors, 2 berserkers, and 2 snipers. But unlike the Spartans from the Recon edition and the Spartan edition, they're not the same sculpts. So they are slightly different. They may share. So if you look at these 2, I believe these are the captains. Those ones are the same. They have different grenades in their hands. Let's find another similar. Okay, so these guys, you can see, have the same backpack, the same helmets, the same torso and legs, with different weapon loadouts. Let's see. These guys again, same torso and legs, different weapons, different helmets. I believe these other 2, yeah, again, same sort of makeup, different weapons. So very cool. We have our elites as well. They are, I'm not sure, I'm assuming they're different from the ones in the Spartan edition. They're of course awesome. So that's them. So that is Rise of the Banished. It's really, really exciting. Very, very cool stuff. I like it a lot. I can't wait to kind of play with it more. Obviously Atriox he's the daddy of all of these guys. And interestingly enough, I know that it was kind of marketed that Atriox would be maybe a limited edition or something like that, but he comes fully in this box. He's not packed separately. So when Mantic Games released the original Spartan edition, for the pre-orders, you got a copy of Master Chief with it. But he was in a separate box on his own and that kind of thing. Atriox, at least as far as this box is concerned, he is included in the main body of the box. So it's not a separate option. So when it says that he's limited, I don't know if that means that this box is limited or that when you get this box later on, it won't include this model in here, which I think would be strange, but it's always possible. But I will leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Lots and lots of Halo Flashpoint stuff coming up. So make sure you stick with me to watch it, and I'll see you all later.